Hi everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Typewriter Chronicles, where I give you advice on how to write awesome shit efficiently and productively. Today, we are talking about how you can find your own unique writing voice. So first thing is, if the book is in the first person, you need to think about the main character. This is something I love so much. What does the character notice? Do they pay attention to people? Do they pay attention to surroundings? Do they pay attention to emotions, words, expressions? Or are they usually lost in their head? This, I think, is really important for the description part of the book. If it's from the main character's point of view and they are like really compassionate and kind and people focused and emotion focused, they might see that, someone looks sad or someone seems really happy, and they might also talk about how they feel. That means that maybe they're not going to focus so much on what the room looks like, but on how the people around them are doing. On the other hand, there might be characters who are always lost in their head, so it might be a lot about their thoughts and emotions, what's going on in their head instead of what's going on outside around them. Or they might be super observant and they just want to see everything around them, so they might focus on the room, on the smell, on what it looks like. And of course, you can't just make the character never talk about what the surroundings are, but they might just notice it a little less, and they might notice some things more. And so you can really work with that and make it super unique and totally, on point. How do they talk and communicate with other people? The first thing that we talked about now is basically determines what they talk about, what they describe the most, but this one determines how they talk about everything. Are they funny? Are they sassy and sarcastic? Do they have just dark humor? Do they make fun of themselves? Do they make fun of other people? And all that shit. Do they swear? And so figure out what personality your character has and use that to make the voice unique. Number 2 is basically similar things, except it's for the third person where you are the one telling the story. For this, I would just say if it's actually you telling the story, which I think is super fun and it can create an amazing unique voice instead of it being, because I feel like what I don't like about the third person is that it's so often impersonal. But if you do it as if you are writing it, it can be super unique and really fun. And so again, you can ask yourself the same questions. How do you talk? Do you swear? What do you pay attention to? What do you want the book to consist of the most? Do you pay attention to people, to emotions, to surroundings, all that shit? And do you make jokes? Do you want to make fun of the characters a little bit? Think about what your own voice is, how you speak with other people IRL, and just how you want to write the book. How do you want to tell the story? And you can have so much fun with this, and it's gonna create a really amazing, fun, unique voice. And the last third tip is, what do you want the focus of the book to be on? What's your strength? What do you want to enhance? Are you better at descriptions or dialogues? Do you want the characters to stand out, or the world, or the plot? This, I feel like, is a part of the style and not the voice, but I still wanted to add it here. And so just for me, so that it makes a little bit more sense, what I love to focus on the most are the characters and the romance, and in general just the relationships, the friendships and the romantic relationship. Sure, of course I have to write some descriptions sometimes, and I try to describe everything enough for the story to make sense, to make sure that the people, get the feel of the world and shit, so that there's nothing missing. But I just don't focus on the world, and I don't focus on the plot much either. And yes, I make sure that the plot is, fun and fast and whatever, but it's just not the main focus. So what I have in my books the most are dialogues and deep conversations between the characters, or fights between the characters, and just all this shit. it consists the most of dialogues and communication and just developing the relationships and just like cool fun stuff and like jokes and like the characters being together and doing fun stuff and talking and joking and roasting each other. And I also focus a lot on emotions. And so all that shit adds to like my style. And for you, it might be similar, or you might be a super descriptive writer, and so you love to describe everything in detail, and you love to work on the plot and make it super complex and intriguing. And I think that is super beautiful because sure, there are guidelines, you know, we need to make sure there are no plot holes, we need to make sure that we show what the world looks like to the readers, but we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses, and we need to create a book, not a book that we think is like the rule, but a book that we are going to be proud of, a book that we are going to be super happy with. Even if we might feel like it's kind of breaking a few rules, I think breaking a few rules is awesome as long as it's, you know, it adds to the story and it makes our book unique. And yes, so that's my advice for today. I hope it made sense and I hope it was helpful. Please, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and tell me in the comments down below if you have any video requests. And that's gonna be it. Have a brilliant day and see you soon in another video. Bye!